I almost didn't have a life to begin with. When I was born in 1993, I was supposed to be born in August, and I was born in September on when my mom was giving birth. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's something to do where your airways can get cut off and completely shut your lungs down. And they had to work on me to get me better. And I was considered a miracle child, a baby. And so I look at that moment, which I don't, and nobody can recall when they were born, but I just look at it as like, damn, I could not have been here in 1993. And then there was another time at 7 years old, I was at my aunt's, I think, mother-in-law's house, or it was somebody she was related to. I can't remember exactly. I think it was her mother-in-law because she was about to get married. And I was 7 years old, and there was an in-ground swimming pool there, and I got into the deep end of the pool, and I got pulled under the pool because I didn't have no flotation devices. I didn't have a little floaty zone because I was a little boy. I was like maybe 3 foot 6 or 7 at the time. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I only grew to be 5'4", so I'm really short as shit. But anyways, I was in the deep end of the pool, and what happened is it pulled me down. And once you're in a deep end of a pool and you're a little short, and I was under there drowning, and while I was under there, it was the scariest shit. It's literally it was not intentional. I wasn't playing no game. It fucking really happened to me. I was down there. I lost track of time, but it had to be, and I had asthma, so my lung capacity was not strong at all. So I had asthma, and I was down there. My guess is almost a minute, and with somebody with asthma, that's like a fucking eternity. And I was gasping for air, gasping for breath. I was bringing the water in my lungs, and I felt very close to it, and I can't really describe. It's just an intense fear, and for something at the last moment, it was nobody. Like I did it myself, but I always also think that maybe it could be a supernatural thing because I don't know. I found the inner strength to pull myself up, and when I pulled myself up, I was very thankful because I could have died at 7 years old, and then at 10 years old, I caught pneumonia, and I was in the hospital for about a week, and I could have died from pneumonia. It was a very severe case of it, so I had to recover for over a week. It probably was 2 weeks. I was in the hospital. They were giving me what's that thing? They would put this thing in my arm, the IVs in my arm, trying to pump fluids in. And I got a little stronger. I started trying to walk a little more. I remember walking down the hospital hallways, and people in school, because I was in elementary school, I was like in third grade, and people from school was sending me little get well cards, and I eventually overcame the pneumonia. And then not too long after that, or before this, I had almost a severe asthma attack out in the family health center where I live. But luckily, I was right there for them to give me the treatment. So those were multiple times where I came close to dying, and that's just 3 or 4 times. Like when I was a teenager, I put myself in so much danger, so much dangerous situations that I could have died multiple more times with drugs, with pills that I was taking, the copious amounts of pills. Like I remember on Christmas Eve, I can't remember the year. I may have been 2008 or 9 when I was 15 or 16. I went in the bathroom and I took 8 sleeping pills, and I was over at my aunt's house like Elvis Presley. I was so fucked up, and that was strong Tylenol PMs. And you take any 8 of any pills, it don't matter what kind of pill it is, you're gonna feel it. So I could have died overdosed on that with 8 pills, and there was multiple times where I took dangerous substances and mixed substances that could counteract with each other. But luckily, I survived all of that. Especially, there was like almost probably a 95% chance of me dying from the shit I was doing. Like I was snorting different kind of powders, and I was inhaling chemicals like paint thinner and nail polish and air freshener and all this stupid shit that I did in my life. But yeah, I got off of the drugs because I was going to the rehab center, the voluntary rehab, because my mom caught me smoking marijuana outside, or she smelled it or whatever. She didn't actually see me smoke it, but she smelled it, so she knew. But she put me in a 6-month program where I couldn't smoke marijuana at all. I couldn't do any drugs. The only thing I could do was inhale chemicals. But after that, I took drug tests multiple times for 6 months. And there was one time where I didn't give a shit and I was risky. And I smoked weed the day before I needed to take a drug test. But then the day that I went there, luckily I didn't have to take one that day. But if I did, I would have got caught with THC. But so I had a very tough upbringing, like, but I brung it on myself. Other than the times that it was not brung on myself. I mean, yes, I got in the pool, but I didn't know that the pool end could be that